For today's headlines, another Bulusan eruption possible. Bittersweet last flag rites for Cusi. Marcos meets more envoys. Hefty fuel price hikes today. Give BPO firms leeway according to next DTI chief. PCOO recognized for the virtual presser. Thousands of cops to be deployed on Bongbong inauguration. Vile satanic attack killed 20 church worshippers. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and this is Tribune News on Q. Today is June 7, 2022 and these are the latest news of this Tuesday morning. State seismologists warn Bulusan volcano might erupt again after its steam-driven explosion on Sunday, noting that residents should stay away from the 4-kilometer radius permanent danger zone. Renato Solidum, director of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, raised Monday such a possibility even as he noted that indications of another eruption usually take a long time based on the volcano's history. Alert Level 1 is currently hoisted over Bulusan volcano, which means that it is exhibiting low-level unrest. PHIVOLCS does not see the need yet to raise Alert Level 2 until Bulusan spews magma and sulfur dioxide gases from its crater, Solidum said. The volcano erupted on Sunday morning with steam-rich gray plumes rising about a kilometer and raining down ash on several villages in Huban and Casiguran, which forced at least 1,500 people to flee their homes. PHIVOLCS warned the ashfall emitted by the volcano can cause irritation and breathing problems, especially to children, the elderly, pregnant women, and those with respiratory problems. They are advised to cover their noses and mouths with N95 masks or wet towels. With only a few days left in the Duterte administration, Department of Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi on Monday led his last flag ceremony in its main office in Taguig City. Cusi said the new set of DOE leaders should make sure to work from their perspective of a consumer, as it would help bring fresh policies that would further enhance a sector which plays a very crucial role in our country's socio-economic development. In a recent televised interview, incoming Press Secretary Rose Beatrix Trixie Cruz Angeles said President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is eyeing party list Representative Rodante Marcoleta to become the next energy chief. Marcoleta, who is also a House Deputy Speaker, was part of the 18th Congress as a representative of the Social Amelioration and Genuine Intervention on Poverty Party List organization. A good 3 weeks before he can even officially take his oath as the next chief executive, President-elect Bongbong Marcos received envoys from various countries Monday, actually the third batch in the last 2 weeks, at his campaign headquarters in Mandaluyong City. Paying courtesy calls were ambassadors from Italy, Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. In a social media post, Marcos said he had a meaningful dialogue on labor, education, health, and culture with Brunei's ambassador. In a press briefing, incoming Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles said Marcos and the Italian ambassador discussed 4 areas: political, economic, person-to-person cooperation, and COVID-19 recovery. Angeles said on the economic aspect, Marcos discussed with the envoys cooperation in infrastructure projects, COVID-19 response, and opening up the economy. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Mga impormasyong direktang makukuha mula sa sources at diretsahang usapan. Yan ang ating daming sa inyo sa programang Straight Talk. Samahan nyo kami sa makabuluhang talakayan live tuwing Martes alas 10 ng umaga sa official Facebook page ng Daily Tribune at Tribune Now on YouTube. Alamin ang latest entertainment at sa mga paborito nyong celebrities kasama si Pocholo Concepcion sa programang What's Up. Makibanding at kwentuhan kasama ang mga kilalang personalidad sa entertainment industry. Sama-sama natin silang kilalanin at silipin ang makulay nilang mundo every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Kaya sit back and relax lang kayo mga katribu. Hanapin at ilike ang Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Dahil sagot na namin ang masayang kwentuhan dito lang sa What's Up. Ang Daily Tribune may digital shows na din. Dahil sa mas lumalaki at mas lumalakas nating tribu, handog sa inyo ng Daily Tribune ang mga programang magbibigay buhay araw-araw. Be informed at mag-good vibes tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Be updated sa news and happenings sa Tribune News on Cue. Mas kilalanin pa natin ang mga paborito nyong atleta sa programang The Athletes Tribune. Alamin ang latest entertainment sa programang What's Up. Ma-inspire sa mga kwentong hatid ng Perfect. Search lang ang Daily Tribune sa inyong Facebook at Tribune Now on YouTube. See you there mga katribu!
We are back on Tribune News on Cue. Massive fuel pump price hikes take effect today, June 7, with diesel registering the biggest spike. And separate advisories, local oil companies announced that diesel prices surged by a whopping 6.55 pesos per liter and gasoline prices by 2.70 pesos per liter. Kerosene prices, on the other hand, increased by 5.45 pesos per liter. Federation of Jeepney Operators and Drivers Association of the Philippines, President Ricardo Boy Rebaño, said in a radio interview over the weekend that jeepney drivers are starting to look for other jobs as they can no longer keep up with the persistent skyrocketing prices of fuel. The transportation sector has been pressing the government to temporarily suspend the excise tax on fuel to significantly slash the high prices of fuel. Instead, the government released fuel subsidies to qualified public utility vehicles operators and drivers. The incoming Trade and Industry Secretary is giving the business process management industry the prerogative in structuring their working arrangement, particularly the work-from-home setup, which is supported by the Telecommuting Act signed by President Rodrigo Duterte before the pandemic hit the country. If he's the one to decide, he will give the company's management the right to decide and have the prerogative on how they will work on their work arrangements. The work-from-home scheme was already identified by the government as a form of working setup even before the country was hit by the current pandemic called the telecommuting law. This is said by the incoming Secretary Alfredo Pascual, which he said in the interview on Daily Tribune's morning show Gising Na. In 2018, Duterte signed into law Republic Act 11165, or the Telecommuting Act, which institutionalizes work-from-home arrangements in the private sector. The said measure identifies telecommuting, or when an employee of a company works from an alternative workplace using telecommunications and other computer technologies, as a legitimate work arrangement. Further, Pascual said if there are contentions with the said setup, then the parties involved should settle the dispute first when it comes to the ongoing law. The Presidential Communications Operations Office, or PCOO, was recently recognized in the 19th Philippine Quill Awards for its creativity in providing public information and connecting with local and international media partners less than a month before the term of the Duterte administration expires. The PCOO's program, the Virtual Presser, won an award in the Communications Management Division Media Relations category. PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar stressed that stated that the Virtual Presser bridges the gap between the Philippine government and the media and provides a platform for the country to respond to important concerns in the international arena. The Virtual Presser was launched in 2018 by the PCOO Global Media and Public Affairs in collaboration with Radio Television Malacanang as an interactive online video platform where the Philippine government communicates with international media to promote important policy issues. Tribune News on Cue will be back. Stay with us.
Mapalutong bahay man o sumptuous meal for special occasions, sagot na kayo ng tropang Kalanpag. Dahil atid sa inyo ng Daily Tribune ang fun and exciting cooking show na Kalanpag, manood at matuto kung paano lutuin ang mga favorite nyong recipes. Sabayan pa ng fun and inspiring na kwentuhan sa kusina. I-upgrade na rin natin ang mga nakasanayang traditional dish ng pamilya. Plus, healthy tipid tips na ibabahagi ng tropang Kalanpag. Matuto, mabusog at ma-good vibes dito lang sa Kalanpag tuwing Lunes, 10:30 a.m. sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Magandang araw mga katribu! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Atty. Lia Badillo Crisostomo, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Chert Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas na ang mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Simulan natin ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments ng aming programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings, mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na!
Mga katribu, tara na't makiisa at matuto sa mga public service programs hatid ng Kalingang Katribu. Tuwing Lunes, nandyan ang usapang business na magbibigay tips at inspirasyon sa mga aspiring entrepreneurs kasama si Vernon Velasco. Tuwing Miyerkules, usapang pangkalusugan naman ang tatalakayin ni Miss Cory Quirino sa Health and Wellness. At tuwing Biyernes naman, kung legal advice ang kailangan mo, sagot ka na ng Legal Diaries kasama si Elmer Navarro Manuel at mga guest lawyers. Lahat ng niya mapapanood tuwing alas 3:30 ng hapon sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube.
You are still watching Tribune News on Q. The Philippine National Police on Monday disclosed that thousands of police officers will be deployed to secure the inauguration of President-elect Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. This is at the National Museum of the Philippines on June 30. According to PNP Director for Operations Major General Valeriano De Leon, who personally inspected the museum as part of security preparations for the event, there is a need for early preparations to anticipate all the possible scenarios that could affect the peaceful and orderly Marcos oath-taking. He added that they are also coordinating with the Manila City government and nearby local government units for their no permit, no rally policy. De Leon said the same level of preparation is also being done for the inauguration of Vice President-elect Sara Duterte in Davao City on June 19. Meantime, Manila Police District Director PB General Leo Francisco said that at least 4,000 police personnel of the MPD will augment the security for the inauguration of the country's 17th president. In other news, gunmen with explosives stormed a Catholic church and opened fire in southwest Nigeria on Sunday, killing at least 20 worshippers and wounding others, the government and police said. The violence at St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo Town in Ondo State erupted during the morning service in a rare attack in the southwest of Nigeria, where jihadists and criminal gangs operate in other regions. Pope Francis said in a statement he had learned of the death of dozens and faithful, many children, during the celebration of the Christian holiday of the Pentecost. The motives and the exact death toll were not immediately clear, but President Muhammadu Buhari condemned the heinous killing of worshippers. State Police spokesperson Ibukun Odunlami said the gunmen also attacked the church with explosives, leaving an unknown number of worshippers dead. And that wraps up the stories this morning, but before we go, we would like to thank the following: SM Store, Araneta City, Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, Empire Eastland Holdings Incorporated, and Overseas Community Affairs Council Member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista on Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its vibrant community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.